This is the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce with your daily COVID-19 update for April 27th. The Government of Canada is now accepting applications for the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. Applications can be made through your My Business account or Represent a Client account portal. Alternatively, businesses may apply via the CRA website with their access code. Applications will be processed on May 4th, and a step-by-step guide has been created by the Canadian Chamber to help aid businesses in their application process. The Minister of Fisheries, Oceans, and the Canadian Coast Guard announced $62.5 million of new assistance to the fish and seafood processing sector. Our hope and request would be that similar programming and support would extend beyond one specific segment or industry and would be provided to assist all agriculture and agri-food sectors in order to help aid in compliance to health and safety measures and new technologies, as well as adapting products to respond to the changing requirements. Amid COVID-19, post-secondary education institutions have stepped up for the betterment of not only their students, but also all Canadians. If you're wondering how, you can take a look at the Canadian Chamber's recent blog post that can be found in our daily update. Museum from home began to trend after museums around the world closed to help slow the spread of COVID-19. Curators around the world have been entertaining and educating millions of at-home viewers by uploading virtual tours, interesting and entertaining facts, and never-before-seen content from their collections. Alberta's provincial historic sites and museums will be joining the Museum from Home movement with new digital content uploaded every week. From educational content to crafts for kids to exclusive tours by museum staff, viewers can check out the social media accounts of their favorite historic sites and museums each week for new content. You can also check out the local content. I know the Esplanade has uploaded some virtual behind-the-scenes content on their website as well. With the U.S. ratification of the Canadian-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement, the agreement will now enter into force on July 1st. This is positive news for Canadian trade, as CUSMA will provide Canadian businesses with a foundation for continued access into our most important markets for exporters and investors. That said, it will be crucial for all three governments to adapt their CUSMA implementation plans and provide flexibility where they are required given the rapidly changing circumstances of COVID-19. In Canada, so far, our governments have managed the pandemic response as well as could be expected given the uncertainty involved. But what can we learn about how to make Canada better as we move from crisis to aftermath? Find out in a recent article that the Canadian Chamber President and CEO Perrin Beatty wrote for the Policy magazine. You can find that link in our daily update. There's some new resources that have been made available. There's a comprehensive Q&A document on the Canada Emergency Response Benefit for Canadians now available from the Government of Canada. The CRA has published an FAQ document intended to provide more in-depth technical information on the most commonly anticipated technical questions from businesses and tax professionals when it comes to the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy program. And the Retail Council of Canada has launched their Shop Smart campaign. It explains the precautions and guidelines grocery and drugstore shoppers should follow during the COVID-19 pandemic to keep customers, retail employees, and communities across Canada safe. There's some great video content and posters that retailers can download and use. There's also a new video that's been posted by the Canadian Chamber of Commerce on the business of business and financing that's available during COVID-19. In the recent video that's available, they'll discuss the financing that is available to businesses and employees due to COVID-19, as well as the impact the pandemic will have on our economy. So you can watch that on-demand video through our daily update. There's also some webinars that are coming up this week, and tomorrow on April 28th, you can find out about options available through the Medicine Hat College Continuing Studies programs. There's also a webinar tomorrow on understanding, accessing, and optimizing the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. On April 30th, there's going to be a webinar on how COVID-19 is impacting the US economy and how that affects Canadian companies. So that's being provided by Export Development Canada, and it's a free webinar to explain the current economic outlook. And then on April 30th as well, the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce is hosting Canadian Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Karen Beatty, along with Dr. Trevin Stratton, who's the Canadian Chamber's Chief Economist and VP Policy. They'll be talking about the state of Canadian business in the wake of COVID-19 and a look ahead at how we can restart the national economy. So you can register for all of those webinars and additional ones that are coming up in the next couple of weeks through our daily update. And you can also check out our pandemic training calendar on our website. We hope that the information was of value to you, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.